Is there anybody there? There's Steve. Hello, Steve. How you doing, mate? Just waiting. We've got 6 people watching. Very impromptu one, this one. The governor's a bit icky. So Matt and I thought, oh, fuck it, we'll do one. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. It's a bit one-sided. I think Matt's on his way. Do. Oh. Sign in, Matt. I can't. Oh, hang on. I can't pin the links. I can't pin the link because I don't have the rights. I can stick it in the chat, but I can't pin it. There you go. Anyway, Matt, you should be able to sign in anyway. Because you're an admin, aren't you? I thought. I don't think I can. Pretty sure I can't. Where's your flipping admin login then?
Oh. Yeah, there we go. That's it. You alright?
Yeah, not too bad.
Good, man.
Bit hot and sweaty.
What have you been doing?
Lumping a 23 kilo synthesizer back into its box.
Oh, I see there's a big space, yes.
No, I made the decision. Since getting that modular, nothing compares. So just needed to make the room. That's what it was.
You silly fucker.
Am I, though?
Bollocks, you better not be. Not after all the shit that you've given people for it in the past.
Yes.
Right, who's in the chat? Hang on.
So I've got legs. The legs.
Hello.
I was going to stick them on the Astro Lab and bring that down for a little outing, but
why not?
I don't know how long it's going to take, but I don't know.
Put it on the Poly 6. Put them on the Poly 6.
No, that's all the way over there on one of the shelves.
Yeah, but you've got to have something there for the minute, haven't you?
Yeah, I know. Well, I've got the Key Lab here, which is nice. So
yeah.
Is it worth buying the legs? Yeah, it is. I was going through some of our very early shows, and it was around the time that Arturia launched the legs, and I remember we were all a little bit disparaging. £200 for these. Oh. 2 sets of these. But I tell you what, they are very well made, and once they're on, particularly, I mean, the 3, is it just the 3? I think the 2 Polybrutes and the Astro Lab, and the Key Labs as well, the big Key Labs, they will fit on. But because they've got wood on the synths as well, it works.
And it's old school, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's old school. It's not like the fucking X frames on here. That button,
And they're
Wagyu, but it's
really,
good for
I don't
pleasuring
know.
the lady elephant.
Yeah, I don't know if Axel had any part in the design of these
Hmm.
because they are very well. You see, you've got this plate, okay,
Hmm.
like that, and the legs screw into those nuts in the middle there. But on the other side, can you see? I don't know if you can see. Let me move it over there. It's got rubber feet.
Right.
Now, when you put these plates on either side of the underside of the synth, it means the existing rubber feet on the bottom of the synth are kind of redundant. So
Yeah.
they put rubber feet on these so that if at any point you should say, oh, do you know what? I'm going to stick this on a table or another stand, all you got to do is unscrew the legs.
Nice.
Obviously, I couldn't leave these on, so I've had to take those off.
Very clever engineering, isn't it?
It is, and
And
you've
they
got
look really well engineered and all.
this is your height adjuster here, and yeah, they are they're very nice bit of wood. But yeah, if you've got, if you're looking for, putting a synth just on its own in your studio or in your room or whatever, break them as well. Then yeah, I'd highly, they're very nice.
No, but that's quite a little touch you've had with regards to that PV, though, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Nice one. Coasters or stickers?
Coasters.
Nice.
Cork-based coasters. Look at that.
Cool. What are they from Ireland?
Actually, no, Latvia.
Oh, right, yeah. A lot of our stuff comes from there, isn't it?
It does, yeah.
It's all right.
I've got. It's funny because I ordered a whole bunch of stuff to take to Super Booth for me to wear, not to give or sell.
Oh, you actually had them done?
Yeah, so they've all been ordered, and there's a bunch of T-shirts, a couple of polo shirts, and they've all got stuff on them, but some have come from America, and others, same product, same design, has come from Latvia. Don't know why they didn't all come from Latvia or all come from America. They seem to have split. So some of the T-shirts, exactly the same model of T-shirt, exactly the same design, just a different colour.
Yeah.
Very odd.
It is quite peculiar.
But there you go. They don't charge much for the shipping, so.
No.
But that wasn't cheap. But it's got to be done.
Well, that's it. All promo, mate.
Yeah. Oh, I've already got my first 2 evenings booked. Got going out for dinner with Metley on the Wednesday night. Yeah, he's paying. And then on the Thursday, it's like the get together. So Carl Bedford's organising it.
Nice.
So there's going to be a whole bunch of us. So if anybody is going to be in Berlin on Thursday, the 8th of May,
Is Dina going this year?
I don't know. But I'm going to ask. But I know that Manny's there, Mike's there. I'm not sure if I can say these people yet, but some other members of our American family are going to be there.
Yeah.
I think Drew's going to be there, Drew Schlesinger.
Nice.
Then Carl, Peter, Tracker Jack, I think.
Excellent.
Ben Breslin, who's like one of the nicest people. He's one of those people that he's just like, you're so fucking nice, I hate you. But he's lovely. He's such a lovely bloke. I think it's because he's Irish. I think it's just something about the Irish. But he lives out there. He lives in Birmingham.
As a rule, they're good people. I've known very few bad ones and an awful lot of good ones.
Yeah, that's the same for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, that BG Ollie guy, he's a wanker, but...
Yeah, it looks like he's got a new fucking Simon video coming, doesn't it?
I know, yeah. Sorry, I've got a cat. Oi, what are you doing? What? Did you speak? there's a box in the room. There's like, what's this new box, Dad? What's
Of
this new
course,
box?
boxes, yes, boxes and cats.
Oh.
How's Spong? You evidently spoke to him.
Well, briefly. I spoke to him earlier today. Yeah, he's not been very well the last few days. I think it's all still kind of to do with this ear thing. But he's sort of like every time he gets up, he wobbles and falls over. So he's mostly been laying down so he doesn't fall over. So,
Yeah.
But he said the last couple of days he's been feeling better. But he's going to have the night off tomorrow night. So, yeah. Oh, flipping heck. It's all go here. I went to the heart clinic on, it was last Friday. Yeah, last Friday. And everything's looking okay. They're a little concerned that, because I've got a slight aortic aneurysm, which is just basically means that the aortic root, should we say, is a little larger than they would like it to be, but it's nowhere near dangerous at the moment. But he said the size, because they do an ultrasound. He said the size has changed, but it's got smaller, and then it got bigger again, and then so he said we're going to give you a CT scan, and that way that's definitive. That's you'll get the exact measurements and everything. So I'm thinking, this is NHS. I go to the clinic. He says, well, I'll book you in for a CT scan. Came through today, next Friday.
Fucking hell.
Oh, they're not hanging about.
No, it's like Hayley with what she's been going through. God bless her.
Sure.
It's been 2 weeks, give or take, a day. It's been 2 weeks from when they first started looking at her to going in today. So, and we've got another 2 or 3 weeks before we find out the results of that.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But they gave her fentanyl.
Oh wow. I didn't honestly. I when I went for mine, I got there and obviously I was a little bit sore, having evacuated.
Yes. Oh boy, yeah.
Repeatedly. So I'm sat there waiting. I've got my little bag with my clothes in. I've got my gown on. I'm just sat there waiting to be called through. And I get called through. Are we having the anaesthetics? I'm like, what? What? Oh, yes, yeah. If you want, we can do this under anaesthetic. And I'm like, no, I want to see what's going on.
Oh, fuck that.
No.
No.
Yeah, any opportunity I can get to see what's going on inside. Yes, give me
some. Fuck that. No.
So I said, look, honestly, you can't hurt me down there any more than I'm stinging at the moment. So fucking go for it.
Yeah, well, yeah. She was walking today like she said yes yesterday. So.
But I loved it. I mean, I'm sort of laying there on my side. The only I think the worst bit about it. I mean, I fart for fucking England because of my metformin tablets, or metfarting as we call it. Yeah. But because they blow air in to expand,
to inflate it all.
Yeah. And that's like having a bit of a bad tummy ache. And of course, when you feel like it's got to go, they're all like, "Don't worry, let it go."
Oh yeah.
And because your brain instinctively says, "Oh, might I follow through?" But then you realise there's nothing left. It all went yesterday. So go for it. More. Yeah.
Yeah. No, fucking hell. When I had mine, they sedated me because of the PTS connotations.
Yes.
They sedated me. And they said, you won't remember a fucking thing. Well, I was fully conscious all the way through it. And I'm like that, with the bars on the side of the bed. And the moment it came out, gone. The moment they pulled the fucking pipe out, I was out cold. So, I hated mine. Marky, is this the modular show?
Well, yeah, see, I've the Polybrute, I've sold the Polybrute to make room. For the modular.
The thing is now people are going to be like, really? I mean, you got Ben, didn't you?
I've got a few.
Ben believed it.
I've got a few people, I think.
I mean, for a split second, I was looking at it and I was going, no, fuck off.
But I sat here. What was it? Somebody mentioned the one we did on Gear News, which was Marcus, my editor. He did that one. I thought that was quite a good one.
Which was what?
It was Teenage Engineering have released the OPXY plugin for €1,599 on a USB stick that looks like an OPXY. I mean, it was brilliant. Or not the OPXY, the OP1 Field. Sorry.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it was a Teenage Engineering.
Even Kosh says that got
I
almost
know.
got from
Well,
it.
so we have a back end at Gear News where we put all our articles and then publish them from. And I go on there, was it last week or the week before? And I see that because it orders them in date of publication. So this one is at the top because it's been scheduled for April 1st. I didn't notice the date, but I looked at the thing and I just glanced at the headline. It said Teenage Engineering plugin. I thought, fuck me, they've only gone and done it. And then I see in brackets April Fool's. I thought, oh, okay. So I read it and it's very good. Marcus did a great job on it. Got the graphics and everything. But yeah, I was looking at that, or somebody mentioned it to me on the Tuesday, and I thought, oh, do you know, I haven't done one on the Facebook group since probably the first year or so when I did the announcement that we'd been taken over and become the Behringer ProSynth network. And I honestly just knocked up this graphic where I just took the Behringer triangle and put it on top of the existing graphic. And that I didn't do anything else than that. And that got some people, and in particular got one person who I thought, there's no way. But he phoned me up and he said, what the fuck? He was angry. Properly angry. What the fuck's going on?
It wasn't Ty, was it?
No, I'm not going to say who it was. I don't want to embarrass him. But it wasn't Ty. I'll tell you that. What the fuck's going on? I said, what do you mean? He said, he fucking sold out, mate. I said, what? Oh, mate, look at the date. He goes, and then we had a laugh. But it was funny. So I saw it, and on this Friday. Oh, I'm being brought a cup of tea and a chocolate biscuit. Oh, I'm honoured.
How is the good lady?
Good and lady. Yeah.
Oi.
She's lovely. She's
good.
Lovely.
You're another one I'm amazed is still alive.
Secret to a long-lasting, loving marriage.
What's that? Being cruel.
Being cruel to each other, yeah. So anyway, I sat here on Tuesday and I thought, what can I do? The first thing that popped in my head was like, well, if I said I'd got modular, that'd do it for someone. So I thought, how do I do this? And I thought, well, I need to Photoshop myself in front of a modular and make it look semi-convincing. So I spent about 2 minutes on Google Images, just finding some sort of modular setup that was far enough behind, so perspective and all that. And then I just grabbed my phone and I just looked for a blank wall, and there's not many in this house. And the thing is, this house, the way it's positioned and the way it's built, there's no windows in its core, really. So you have to go into a bedroom, and then because bedrooms have got stuff on the walls and things in the way, and eventually I found a room where there was enough sunlight sort of coming in, and I just went like this, snapped the picture, came down, removed the background, laid it up. I thought, do you know what? That doesn't look half bad. Boom, post it.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
I always think about doing them like the morning of April Fool's Day. I should really give them, some more thought.
Well, I excuse me, everything that I saw on the first, I was like, really? I was assessing everything. It really gets tiring. Stuff you look at, you think.
But the thing is, we do that for one day of the year, and we really ought to be doing it 365 days.
Yeah.
And yet we don't. It's amazing. For one day a year, everybody doesn't believe everything they read on the internet, and it's like, oh, this is what it should be like, and then we go back to the bollocks again. But
well, there you go.
There you go, indeed.
It is.
Indeed, it is.
Oh dear. So, got anything lined up for the show tomorrow?
There's very little news at the moment. I've got the Behringer 2XM. I've got
Yeah.
there's another another Oberheim Sem clone, which got nobody mentions that at all. Certainly not in a disparaging way. Yeah, it's a physical, physically identical clone, but it's in black and it's got a few extra little bits on it.
Steve the bastard.
That's right. I'll give them to Kent. He collects them. Recycle,
Right.
which has got launched again. Hello.
Hey up.
Evening.
How you doing? How's this then?
I'm in pain. I'm in pain.
Oh no! Oh! I just noticed your name. You've been to the dentist.
I've been twice this week,
Mm.
and I'm going to go back again next week.
Oh no! I'm back there
Yeah,
again.
so I've been having trouble since Saturday, really.
Yeah.
But I've had a filling today, and then he went, I don't think we've solved the problem.
Oh.
For God's sake. Charged me 220 quid for a filling, and then we haven't solved the problem.
Well,
But-
I went the other week, and they said, because it was for a scheduled filling
Yeah.
or filling repair. So she gets all the way through the repair, and then it's not holding. And she says, I don't think this is going to work. I'm like, I've been sat here half an hour,
Yeah.
sweating me bollocks off while you do all this stuff.
I know, yeah. It's just,
And then you tell me you haven't quite fit. So you're going to put a temporary thing in. Oh, it's make an appointment to come back and see me. So you go and you make an appointment. It's like 6 to 8 weeks later. Thankfully,
well,
it's fine.
well so you're private as well, are you? Is that private? That's NHS. I can't get NHS.
Yeah, we were lucky.
I was NHS in Pocklington. No, private. They can see me. I mean, I popped in on Monday and they can see me Tuesday. So if you're private, they'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
So and then I had an examination on Monday. He did lots of tests and stuff. Can't see what the problem is. I've got pain shooting up this side of my face. Really. So he checked. It says there's no infection. I need some fillings, but they haven't been causing much trouble. I mean, and each time you go for filling, it's over 200 quid. So then he says, well, I can see something at the top. Took 3 X-rays, all that sort of stuff. So we'll fill that, which is what they did today. But he's put a temporary filling in, and I've got to go back on next Thursday to have the proper filling put in.
Right.
And then he said, what do you want to do about your other fillings? Your other broken teeth? 2 of them I knew about because it was from last year, really. But they've not caused me any pain, He said, well, obviously our prices have gone up since last year. But if you want crowns, he says they're 700 quid. And I went, is that for all 3? And he went, no, that's for each. So I'm not having crowns. I can't afford to have crowns. So it's still going to be 700 quid for another 3 fillings.
That's bonkers.
So 1,000 quid. Thank you very much. I could buy 2 synthesizers for that.
You could.
But anyway,
You could.
I just want to get rid of the pain.
Yeah, I know. I hate. There's nothing worse than dental pain.
Yeah.
I really hate it.
And I've been on ibuprofen for a couple of days, but that masked it, not well, but it didn't really work that well,
What I tend to do is what I used to do, or still do, if I put my back out, the doctor said you take ibuprofen every 4 hours.
Yeah,
and
that's
you
right.
take cocodamol every 4 hours, but you take the cocodamol 2 hours after you've taken the ibuprofen. So you take something every 2 hours, but you alternate between ibuprofen and cocodamol, and the ibuprofen reduces any inflammation.
Yeah.
Cocodamol kills the pain, and between the two, it worked for me. It's touch wood. It's worked almost every time with tooth pain or even back pain. Just that combination for a day, but don't do it too much.
No,
because
that's
obviously the ibuprofen doesn't play nice with your tummy.
No, interesting enough, because I'm on omeprazole for gastric stuff, and I've been on it for decades now.
Yeah,
really. But interestingly, ibuprofen, I'm okay with it. I have to, what I find is I have to wean myself off it.
Okay.
So I did the 4 hours on the all through Monday, and then So when I saw him on Tuesday, I thought, well, actually, I don't know if he's even working. So I weaned myself off him yesterday, and I'm not on them at all now. And they're not. They haven't really done any good. But I swear by them for my back when my back
Yeah.
goes. You know.
Every now and again, I'll take them because the one I find that works best for me is either cocodamol for nasty pain, like back pain and stuff, but Anidin Extra, which is like paracetamol and aspirin. That for headaches, that just seems to work for me. But with ibuprofen, like if I've got a muscular thing, that does tend to do it. But and every now and again, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. I always try and take it after I've just had some food, so it's not sitting
I
on
was
an empty
taking it with
stomach.
food. Yeah.
Every now and again, it will really just fuck my tummy up for an hour, and I'll just be sort of saying, like real bad indigestion or wind or something. It's not very pleasant, but
I tend to double up with me. Sorry, go on,
I'm
Matt.
not allowed to take ibuprofen.
no.
It has that much of an adverse effect on me. I can't touch
Oh
it.
wow.
I mean, I once went to see a doctor. He says, "Yeah, there's quite a few people out there that can't take it because it's just he just really doesn't agree with him." And that's exactly what this doctor said. So, touch wood, I'm not so bad with it. But anyway, we'll see. We'll I actually think I have got an infection, and I don't think the problem is in my teeth. I think it's in my gums now. But,
Rob, did you do that, Rob? All right, okay. What's that song?
It's like an old folk song. Exactly.
Jackie went to see her mum the other day, and she walked in the corridor, and there's this old woman just lying on the floor.
Wow.
I don't think she was like. I don't think she was falling. Or she was just lying on the floor. Spong is not feeling very well.
Oh.
He's going to take the night off tomorrow night.
Yeah.
He's
I saw that Jason's stepping in. That's it.
Well, I've got Jason on standby because we weren't sure if Andy could make it.
Yeah.
Now Andy can make it and Kent can't, so Jason was coming in anyway.
Yeah.
We'll
get
wait
one.
to see if
Kent.
I don't know if he's watching. But I'm not going to be around next week because it's Record Store Day. But I was just saying to Matt earlier, I got my CT scan appointment through for my heart, and it's next Friday. So I'm going to be leaving here, going to the hospital, and then once I finish there, jump in my car, and then drive all the way to Bury St Edmunds and pitch up my chair. And
have you got things you want, or is it just?
Unfortunately, yeah. Every year I look at it and think, please let there just be nothing of any real interest, and and then they always grab me back in. But I gave my record store my list of the stuff that I was interested in, and I was going through it last night, and is it Resident?
What, the band?
No. There's a record store called Resident.
Oh, right.
And they're somewhere else, but I get emails from them because I've bought stuff from them in the past. So I get a newsletter or something. And they the other day they said, we've finalised our record store day prices. I normally go to Sister Ray. Sister Ray generally put.
I know Sister Ray in I was going to say Hoxton. It's not in Hoxton, is it? It's in Shoreditch.
Sister Ray, the main store is in Soho, but there's
another one. There's another one in Shoreditch. The one I've been to, small one.
They did have a small one just off of Exhibition Road.
I don't know what that is.
In South Kensington. It was like but it had a different name, but it was the same guy. I can't remember. Anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I've got this. Honestly, I mean, I know records, vinyl has gone up.
Yeah.
And I know Record Store Day was always a little more expensive than normal sort of record prices, but Jesus, things. I mean, there's on my list. There's one thing that's 20 quid. Everything else is north of that by some margin. Like there's a Prince triple album live at Glam Slam, 65 quid. But all it is, and I've I've ticked it off my list because there's no point. Those 3 records came with, I think it was the Diamonds and Pearls box set as part of the 13 disc package. So all they've done is they've taken those 3 records out, pressed them on coloured vinyl, and are selling it separately for 65 quid. So bin that one off.
Yeah.
But Talking Heads Live on Tour 78. Apparently this is a new recording that's never been released before. So I'm very interested in that, but it's 43 quid. Yes, Live at the Rainbow 72, 53 quid. So those have both come off the list. I thought, fuck it. But I have gone for... there's an Art of Noise release.
Yeah, of course there is.
And there's a Propaganda release.
All right,
so I'm getting those 2. Peter Gabriel's releasing OVO on vinyl for the first time.
Right.
There's OMD Peel Sessions from 79 to 83, so that's not bad. There's a Bowie live album, which I kind of feel obliged to get. There's a couple of Cure releases. Prince Charming, Adam and the Ants.
Really?
On gold vinyl, something like that. So I thought, yeah, why not? Thompson Twins, Into the Gap live.
Into the Gap. No, I'd be interested. I wouldn't want to buy it on vinyl, but in fact, when I sorted my records out, I found I had 2 copies of that.
Yeah.
On vinyl, and I gave it to Josh, and Josh went, "I've already got this," so he gave it to Matt.
Well, I remember when it came out, I bought it on cassette because I was buying most of my albums on cassette.
I had it on cassette.
And because on the B side it had all the remixes.
Yeah.
Or the dub versions or whatever. And I wore my first tape out, so I had to buy another one. But yeah, I've got the original vinyl. I think they've done about 2 or 3 reissues, and then last year they did a red vinyl reissue.
I've got the CDs with all the remixes on.
I've got last year.
I've got them as a 4. It's one of these sort of cheap 4-box set things where you've got all the first 4 albums.
Yes, yeah.
Which I have. So I had Into the Gap on vinyl. I had Quick Steps and Sidekicks, and I had Set as well because I was into them really early. I saw them at York Uni as a 7-piece. I thought they were amazing.
Yeah. Those first 2 albums, Product of and Set, are actually pretty good.
They're really good. So I think I'm going to say I had them all on vinyl, and obviously I did. Certainly up until Into the Gap, but I think I've still got Set. I'm not sure if I got the Product of. I've certainly got it on CD. Yeah. But things did get lost along the way.
When they brought out Here's to Future Days, which was the one after Into the Gap.
Yeah. I've got that on CD.
I remember listening to it and thinking, there's elements here that remind me of like Into the Gap, and that but there's other stuff, and it's like it felt like really overproduced, and it's because they got rid of Alex. Well, they didn't get rid of Alex Sadkin, but Alex Sadkin didn't produce that album, and Nile Rodgers did some of the stuff, and so it's got that kind of Nile Rodgers feel to it, and I'm guessing it just lost me.
Of its time, I think.
Else. Yeah, I just didn't buy anything else of theirs after that.
Have you heard any of his sort of electronic experimental stuff?
I haven't, no.
I've listened to a couple of bits. It's all right, actually. It floats my boat. I haven't bothered to buy any of it, but it's,
Somebody said I should go and see, because he's touring again.
Yeah.
But with like an all, it's billed as Tom Bailey of the Thompson Twins.
So it's greatest hits.
But yeah, it's if it hasn't got Joe and Alana in it, I don't really want to.
It's not a Thompson Twins. I completely agree. Yeah.
So Holly Johnson, one of Holly Johnson's lesser known solo albums is coming out, so I'm getting that. Dead or Alive are really milking it because they did the Youthquake special like box set thing. Was it early this year, back end of last year? And now they're releasing Youthquake remixes, and then 2 versions of You Spin Me Round with all sorts of different remixes across different records.
Right.
So that on its own is going to be like 90 quid for those 3.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I might give them a swerve. But and Starship, we built this city.
Oh God, I played that. I played that in a band, and I worked out because I think all I had at the time was a Poly 6 and a DW 8000,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Hang
worked
on.
out it's something like
Hey.
She's here. She's all right.
it's
Yeah. Yeah, not my
Spend
fault for a change.
Oh,
Yeah, they couldn't even take me out to dinner either.
Oh, stop. Because I know that Ian will be going, once he knows what's happened, he'll be going, oh, God, no.
let's just say she had the film crew in.
oh
Yeah,
right.
she's had a BBC camera crew in
Calling about my kid's face.
bait and crawl space.
Oh, she's certainly feeling better.
Yeah.
Fentanyl, mate.
Sorry, when you were saying.
Yeah, so
sorry.
built this city, playing it live. I because I only had those two keyboards and trying to get as close as I could to all the sounds that's on it. Being the
Yeah.
only keyboard player in the band. I think I worked it out. It was something like 31 different sounds
Really?
across the two keyboards across the song.
Wow.
It sounded pretty close for the time. It was late 80s.
I absolutely love that song.
Great
And I
song.
know that,
Absolutely
I know that
brilliant.
so many people hate it, despise it. Some people go as far as say it's the worst
No.
pop song ever.
No.
It's not. It's one of the best pop songs ever because it
It's
gets
a
in your
really,
head and
really good
stays
song.
there. That whole album actually was it Knee Deep in the Hoopla. Is a cracking little album. That with what's the other that Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now.
Yeah.
And Sarah, I think, was the other big single off of that album. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
But I liked those bands at that time.
Yeah.
Bands like Heart. I loved Heart.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, because the guy behind that song, or the production anyway, was he an Austrian? He was like a big famous European, had loads of hit records over on the continent. They brought him in for this thing. And I know Grace Slicker's disowned it over the years, but hell, she was well into it. If she didn't like it, she
exactly.
wouldn't have made it.
Exactly.
It's just this as soon as people sort of say, no, it's the worst record in the world. I love it. I absolutely love it.
I can't remember if I listened to the album. Probably listened to it at the time, but I don't really remember it.
Oh, it's not the most memorable thing, but it's nice. It's good. It's of its time.
Yeah.
Definitely of its time. That whole sort of that mid-80s kind of synth rock.
Exactly,
kind
because that's because this was probably 87 onwards, playing in a covers band in around Yorkshire, doing Go West, which I tell you, playing Go West stuff. You need to get your chops up for that. I really struggled on some of those songs.
Yeah.
Don't
doubt it.
And we were sort of doing towards the end of the night. We'd do some of the sort of Billy Idol. It was all chart stuff, really, but. Over the last 2 or 3 years, more rocky than anything, but with lots of synths,
What was I? I was listening to something the other day. Oh, that's it. It was Ash. It was when I was at the Dark Skin.
Oh yeah, the
Ash
Ash
was
thing.
supporting.
Yeah,
And I always kind of like, I never bought an Ash album. But
I
they were
have.
always on all the compilation albums of the day. And I went through a period where I was buying quite a few compilation albums because I would play them in the car, but I'd also play them at work in the video shop. So sort of like mid to late 90s, I got all these different and Ash were always on. So that's kind of how I sort of know a lot of Ash stuff. And we're at this gig and we're watching them playing, and they're great. They're still, it's the original band, still the same, still knocking it out, still great fun. And they played. I can't remember the name of the bloody song now, but this is the thing. When I was in the covers band, a lot of the time we were playing stuff that I didn't always listen to, but they would just play me the track, and I go, yeah, okay, I got that, and I play it. It starts off,
I'm just looking now. The album I had was their debut album in 1977. I
I
recognise the
think this
cover
was
of
off
it.
the second album.
Yeah, because that's got Girl from Mars. What I used to do is I'd buy an album if I liked the single.
Oh, Burn Baby Burn. That's it.
I remember Burn Baby Burn.
Yeah, and we're listening to Burn Baby Burn. And I'm going, I know this. I know. Where do I know this from? And I looked at her and I said, "Did we used to play this in the band?" She goes, "Yeah." Oh, that's what it was.
I even bought Charlotte Hatherley's solo album, which was
Oh,
really
she was
good.
the girl. She was in there for a little while, wasn't she?
Yeah, yeah. It was a really good solo album.
Yeah.
So in fact, I think I've still got it. If I haven't got it, I've only just got rid of it because I got rid of some CDs because I just literally didn't have enough space for them. I have in the lounge there is 6 CD racks and each one's got 300 CDs, something like that. I've got a lot more CDs than vinyl, you know. And then there's a load over there. There's more in the garage.
I ended up getting told by my missus years ago, "You've got to do something about these CDs." And so I said, "Okay, look, I'll tell you what, I'm going to rip them all, put them on the hard drive, and then just box them all up, and we can stick them in the garage and they're out of the way." Which is where they're in the storage unit now. But of course, I've bought all this vinyl, and I've still got a cupboard full of CDs and tapes now.
I've come to the conclusion that I shouldn't get rid of them because.
No, I don't want to get rid of them.
And I don't tend to buy a lot of new CDs. I mean, I found a great shop in Bath last Friday. Last Friday was James' birthday, so we went for the day out, had lunch, and it's a charity shop. It was called Dorothy House, I think it is, charity shop. They do different ones. The one in Frome is about clothes, but the one in Bath was just music and books.
Oh, right.
And it had such a great vibe. I mean, I started talking to this guy about the Beatles in there, you know, and we were in there for hours. Jane bought an album. Jane bought an album, which is not something she normally does. She bought, you know, and then I ended up buying 2 CDs. One of them is a band called Bliss, who I've never heard of. It wasn't available on streaming. It's quite electronic, quite sort of bit ambient. 4 people in them. Don't know where they're from. It was £4. It turned out to be a double album. It's really, really good. But I don't know anything about them. You know. Well, so I'm more inclined to take a punt on something that, you know.
We went to see The Darkness the other week, and I'd already pre-ordered their album, so I pre-ordered the vinyl, which was like a limited black and red splatter or something like that, and then I ordered the CD so that I could get a digital copy of it, and then I ordered one of the tapes that they did. They've been very clever this year. The label is clearly going all out for chart domination.
Okay.
So they've done the vinyl in there's about 6 different colour variations. Some are available in indie record stores, some of them online, some of them on Amazon. Some are signed, some aren't. But they've all got the same stuff on them. But they've also then done the record cover has been done where each of the members of the band are dressed in business attire, business suits. The theme of the cover is they're pretending to be sort of like a bit like Heaven 17 on Penthouse and Pavement.
Yeah.
So they've done that, and so what they've now done is that they've released a cassette of the album, but they've released 5 versions, all the same content. But one's got Justin on the sleeve, one's got Dan on the sleeve, one's got Rufus, and the other one's got Frankie. Then the 5th one has got Rufus's dog, Don, which is this little bulldog thing. So people are going to go, oh, well. So I ordered the Don dog cassette because that's cute and it was only a few quid. So I did that. So I've got these 3 copies of the album ordered. We go to the gig. Justin is pushing, they're selling lanyards on the merch stand. And they're £5 and you get a lanyard, and on the back of the lanyard is a QR code, and if you scan the QR code you get a digital version or digital deluxe version of the album for a £5.
Okay.
So Jackie's like, oh god, I'll get that. So she gets that, And during the gig, Justin is constantly, like between every song, he says, "So what have you got to go and buy?" "A lanyard." "Where you got to buy it from?" "The merch stand." "How much do they cost?" £5 English. So he's white. So everyone's buying these lanyards, and he said the reason we're really pushing it is because there's a bunch of wankers that have released.
I seen that. I saw this on TikTok.
Yeah.
About Mumford and Sons.
Mumford and Sons, or
Yeah.
Comfort and Sons, as he called them,
Yeah.
which I thought was brilliant. And like everyone was just like, "Yeah, we fuck them over." I just looked at the midweek charts, and Mumford and Sons are number 1, Darts are number 2, but that could change. But so vinyl, cassette, CD, digital download. Then they release some other kind of deluxe version of the album for £5 digitally. So it's got extra stuff on it. It's got can't remember what it got like. It's got extra stuff, so I bought that as well. And then, unbeknownst to me, at the time of ordering the original album, they've done 4 CDs. Again, each one with each member of the band on. But this time, this is very clever, or some might say very cynical. They've recorded, each one of them have recorded their own special song. So on Justin's version of the album, you get the whole album plus Justin's exclusive song. On Dan's version of the album, you get the whole album plus Dan's special song, and so on and so forth. So there's 4 separate albums, all with the same stuff on, but each of them have one extra track on which belongs to a member of the band. So I'm like, flipping heck, how much are these? Because I'm a completist.
I know you are. That's your downfall. You know that.
So I look on the website and they're £5 each. I'm thinking, well, that's not bad. And then I look further down, and there's another version of the album called the live version, where you get the album plus half a dozen tracks that they recorded or played at Rough Trade when they did an in-store at Rough Trade. So I've got to have that. But I managed to get the whole lot for £20 because you could buy them as a bundle.
Yeah,
so so I'll do that. All right, £20. So I've got 6 CDs now, the 4 individual ones, the normal one, the live edition one. I've got the digital download version, I've got the vinyl version, I've got the cassette version. The bastards only then went and released, in conjunction with Live Here Now, the live shows, every single live show that they did on this tour. So I went and bought the one that I went to see. So I bought that one. And then, of course, Jackie had pre-ordered the album when it had come out because they did a special offer because they launched the pre-order before Christmas. So if you pre-ordered it before Christmas, you got the Christmas version of the album with exclusive artwork and a greetings card, a Christmas card signed by the band or something like that. So I think between us, we've got about a dozen versions of this fucking album. If it doesn't get to number 1, I want me money back.
Of course you do. Bloody hell, man.
I know. But they are kind of, they're the family band.
You're a fan, I know. I mean, I'm not a fan, as you know, but
yeah,
I mean,
we're all fans.
You know, I take it that, you know,
Yeah.
they never did it for me. I liked the hit, if I can even remember what it was called. You know,
I know, yeah, back in the days when the charts were a thing.
But yeah, they just never floated my boat at all.
No.
I tell you, I like that the 10-inch album that we both bought, the library music stuff.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it.
It's really good.
Mm.
I mean, I've got it on my Bandcamp app, so I've listened to it in here. But I put the album on. But I thought this is all right for a tenner.
Yeah,
You know.
Yeah.
No. Although mine didn't. You know, when you said it was halfway through Ramsey's show, yours had turned up.
Oh yeah.
Mine was supposed to turn up the same day, and
Yeah.
and it didn't. It didn't turn up till the following Monday, because my notification came. We'll be delivering your parcel today between, what was it, 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock or something. Then it got 2 o'clock came. Got to 5 o'clock. We went, no, it's not coming now.
I had this thing with every. So, I used to always complain about UPS.
Yeah.
Well, in touch wood, because I've got a big package here that they're picking up tomorrow, so touch wood. UPS have actually been bang on for the last, I don't know, half a dozen or so deliveries that I've had from them. They've literally come when they said they're going to come, and there's been no problems, no issues, no tax problems or anything like that. So I went and bought some Rode Wireless Pro.
Those little lapel
square ones.
lavias. Yeah.
And I bought them, to capture stuff at Super Booth. And when I bought them, it said on the thing, it said if you buy a Wireless Go package, we'll send you a free Interview Go, which is basically
so that's the mic.
It's the stick. Yeah, it's a mic stick, and you just clip one on the top.
Yeah.
And you put the wind thing on there.
Was this through Rhodes then, direct, or was it?
No, I bought mine through Amazon, but the Rode website. If you go to the Rode website, the Rode website I went to, it said free Interview Go if you buy the wireless Goes. And I couldn't find that. I couldn't find anything anyway. I had to claim it, so I just sent an email to their customer service, and they got, "Oh yes, that's no problem." So they arranged it all, and they sent it out at the back end of last week, and got the shipping number through, and it was with Every. I thought, oh, okay.
Oh God! Yeah.
Generally, they're not bad. We've got a lady that comes around here. She dresses a bit like Where's Wally, but instead of being red and white stripes, it's all pink. Everything's pink. She's adorable in as much as she's she's very nice, very pleasant. She's quite a little odd, but she's great. So Monday comes, and it says on the app, your item is out for delivery. So I'm like, oh, cool, I'll get that. 5:10, bing. I'm afraid we've been unable to deliver your thing today, but don't worry, it'll be coming tomorrow. Okay, fair enough. I haven't bought anything, and it's not really important. Second day, look at the app in the morning. It says your item is out for delivery between about 4:30. Ding! We've been unable to deliver your item. What do you mean you've been unable? You bad out on delivery 2 days in a row. So on the third day, instead of coming up in the morning saying your item, it just said we are unable to deliver your item. So I phoned up their customer service, which is an automated AI voice or an automated AI chat.
I've had a lot of conversations with Every's AI voice.
Yeah, and so it's said on the website, if you want to phone us, we're open 24/7, but our assistants work from 8:30 to 4:30. So I'm thinking, oh well, that's the human being. So I called 8:30, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning. Still got this automated thing. It said, give me your actually, no, it knew my tracking number because of my phone number. And it kept saying, I'm very sorry, we've been unable to deliver your item. We suggest that you go back to the sender and ask for a refund or a replacement. I'm like, oh, you've got it. You've had it out for delivery. I ended up emailing Rode. Rode were like most apologetic. And they said, all right, we'll raise an investigation. As soon as we know that it's either A, been lost or B, been returned, we'll send you another one out. I'm like, fair enough. About an hour later, there's a knock at the door and there's my fucking thing.
They're terrible at everything. I mean, I'm just using, for 99% of the stuff that I'm sending out, I'm using Royal Mail because I've got an account with them now, and actually they are trying to take the business, and usually they're cheaper. Yeah. I mean, there's a parcel down here I've just done tonight, and it was 20p cheaper to send it by Royal Mail, 48 hours, guaranteed tracking, a whole thing. I've not had to claim for anything that's got lost yet, but we'll see how that works. But Every was just appalling.
I've not had any real issues, and I used like the fact with Royal Mail you can book it all online.
Yeah, exactly.
And you don't even have to print a label.
Yeah.
They will come and collect it the next day with a label, slap it on, boom, and it's straight away. It's in the tracking app, and you know exactly where it's going. They're very good,
and they need to be fair. I mean, they need to catch up. I have to say that the biggest problem we've got here is the local sorting office stockpiling mail.
All right.
Jane got most of her birthday cards the day after her birthday. And apparently, lots of Mother's Day cards across the town didn't get there till after Mother's Day on Sunday.
Oh, that's not good.
And Jane counts it. So we probably get one delivery, if we're lucky, 2 deliveries a week, and you just know that they've been stockpiling it. Good. So, but that's the local office really. So they need to sort that stuff out.
Yeah.
But no, I only use Every if I absolutely have to.
I never
You
use
know.
them. Never use them.
No. UPS were all right in when we were in Pocklington, but I've never used them down here. I've occasionally used DPD.
I've always found DPD to be really good.
Yeah, they're expensive though.
The whole service,
Yeah.
the whole service. The fact that if somebody sends you something via DPD, it'll ping up in the app. We're expecting a parcel for you, and then on the day of delivery, it will say
An hour's slot. Yeah.
it's Michael has got it on his
Yeah.
van and will be delivering between 13:42 and 14:42.
Yeah.
And
Fucking
every
hell.
time you check the app, he's exactly where he's supposed to be,
Yeah.
and you get a number. Your delivery 115 out of 130 or something, and you're 3 deliveries away, and it's so spot on.
It is.
Our local DPD driver is called Mikhail.
Michael, so's mine.
I mean, the only time it went wrong was this is when we were still in Pocklington, and I was expecting delivery, and he didn't turn up within the hour, and he didn't turn up in the following hour. Nothing on the app, and eventually, like 5:30, he knocked on the door, and I went, "Oh, you're really late." He says, "Yeah, I broke down." She said, "I'm really sorry, but I broke down." I said, "Well, are you all right?" I said, "Have you got much more to do?" He says, "Yeah, I've got quite a bit to do, you know." But he broke down.
The problem
He's
with
German.
the problem with UPS, and I've heard this has been told to me by a UPS driver, is that they, unlike companies like Amazon or I don't know, I think DPD are the same. They are paid on the items they deliver.
Yeah.
UPS are just regular salaried. They work from 8 till 5:30
Yeah.
or whatever it is. So if it gets to if they're an hour and a half away from the depot and they're an hour and a half away of knocking off, if your item's still on the van, it will stay on the van.
Yeah.
And it'll go out. And the annoying thing that I find with that is that they invariably put it on the app as, "We're sorry, we missed you.
Yeah.
We tried to and no, I literally, the front door is there. No, I came. Don't lie to me. At least be honest about it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
But the other thing, DHL doing DHL is okay, but DHL often for international stuff will use Every at this end.
Yeah. I don't know if they still exist now, but Tufnells. Remember Tufnells?
Oh God, yeah, I remember them. I don't know if they're still around.
I mean, we had a delivery from one of our guitar manufacturers when we had a shop, and you would not believe the state of the parcel that turned up. Literally, bits of stock. It was a delivery of about 20 guitars with accessories, and the accessories are falling out of the boxes. The boxes are soaking. Luckily, because they were like double boxed, all of the guitars had to be checked and they were all okay. But the actual, and we took loads of photographs, and we said to the manufacturer, I said, "Look, this is how your parcels arrived. I think I suggest you change delivery companies." And actually they did.
Yeah.
He said, you're not the first person to complain about them.
I've come to the conclusion that basically all couriers are a bit shit.
Oh, they are, yeah.
Some of them are less shit
Yeah.
on occasion. I
And
think
some
it
of it's down to
depends.
the individual drivers, though, as well,
Yeah.
in certain areas. I mean, Richard, the guy that we had up in East Yorkshire, was great. He was really good for UPS. But we only were accepting parcels from him. We were never using them to send stuff, really, or very rarely.
Ken, if you're still in the chat, can you pin the link for me? Because I can't do it. I've just put it in the chat. I can't pin the link, but you can. So if you wouldn't mind, and if anyone wants to join, I keep forgetting that I haven't pinned the link. So if somebody wants it and it's not there, shout. But I'm pretty sure I can't pin it because I'm not an admin on Kent's YouTube.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I just booked this collection with UPS, and to be fair, the process is dead simple. And I booked it at what time do we start this? 7:45. Booked it at 7:30 this evening, and they're coming to pick it up tomorrow morning. So,
Yeah.
well, they're scheduled to come pick it up tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Yes, Son of
He says
Krypton
it's up.
have closed.
So,
didn't have much to,
go on, no, carry
I
on.
was just going to say I didn't have that much to do with them, apart from we took a guitar in that a guy just bought from GAC. This is obviously when we had the shop up in Yorkshire, and they hadn't set it up properly. And I said, well, we're happy to set it up, but it will cost you 70 quid to do a full setup on it. They've got your money. They really shouldn't have sent this guitar out. It was unplayable, this thing, you know. And I advised him to send it back, you know, because you shouldn't, you know. So, I had no other connection with them at all, really, you know. Didn't really know.
Well,
sorry for the people that are actually losing their jobs.
Well, exactly, yeah.
It's those people, you know. I mean,
I spoke to someone today who's lost a very expensive synthesizer because Bax went under.
oh yeah, I bought stuff from Bax before, and all. You know.
I've only ever bought something from them once. I think it was like an accessory rather than an instrument,
what it was.
because
I bought
somebody
something
told
from-
me that I really ought not to buy stuff from Bax, because they were they were rubbish, apparently. So I've always kind of avoided them because of somebody's recommendation. I think I bought some cables or something from them, and they came through pretty quickly. But no, this person I spoke to today said they bought a very expensive new synthesizer, and it's gone.
They've got your money, and
they got your money, and that's it.
and that's it. That's
now,
it.
now they're bankrupt.
And you probably won't see it back because the way that list of creditors work, that you'll be right down the bottom of the chain as a customer. Sadly,
Exactly.
you know, and it stinks, does that?
It does. It does.
Absolutely. You know.
Aye. But, as you say again, the other thing is you've got.
Well,
remember
Wagyu
the
says
people are
somebody
losing jobs.
in Sonic State Disco was saying it's a matriarch. Wow.
Mm. Well, the person I
That's a chunk
spoke
of
to lost
change.
a steam pipe.
Bloody hell. That's one thing. The pedal shot, I couldn't get into the steam pipe. I really wanted to try it.
Mm.
I mean, I know they didn't have it set up for MPE, but I did want to have a go with it because I'm quite interested in it. It's a bit pricey for me.
Yeah, it'll be one of the things I look to play with in Berlin next month.
Yeah.
Sure.
But no, you don't see any dealer go bust.
No.
Really. You know.
But it makes you wonder. I mean, I heard someone talking about one of the reasons that Bax might have gone under, and it was kind of that age-old story where they were just kind of they were owing people money, and then kind of putting it off and paying robbing Pete to pay Paul and this kind of thing.
And when you're in the trade, when you're in the retail trade, you get to hear about them stories because reps used to come round and say and basically tell you. I mean, we would never buy stock if we didn't have the money to pay for it. We didn't do anything on credit when I had the shop. So if we couldn't afford it, I would just wouldn't order stuff, But so often you get you get dealers who would, I mean, not casting aspersions, but they buy on credit. You get you get 30 days credit anyway usually, but usually there's a settlement. I would always work to take the 5%. So the 5% would be 14 days usually, and you can occasionally get better deals from different suppliers. But I've heard stories of bigger retailers saying, I don't want the 30 days, can I have 60 days and I'll pay you. Now the minute they're doing that, they've got a cash flow problem.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And don't buy it if you can't afford to pay for it. Exactly. Don't buy it thinking you're going to sell it in 60 days and then then you can pay for it.
But the thing is, the whole market, the whole thing is changing when you've got the likes of Thomann in Europe and Sweetwater in the US who can afford to buy in massive bulk, and they're doing all the deals with Behringer becoming a super whatever it is.
Yeah,
And,
I mean,
then-
that's. Sorry, I was just going to say that's why we fell out with Zoom, because Gear for Music was selling Zoom recorders cheaper than we could buy them,
Yeah,
and we were an official dealer, and we went
Yeah.
we were on the phone to them all the time saying, look, and they were saying stuff like, oh, you know, it'll be a lost leader. No, it isn't. You've done a deal. Just tell us what the deal is. If the deal's to buy 50 Zoom recorders and we can't afford it, then, you know, tell me what the deal is.
Yeah.
Offer me the same deal, and if I don't want to do it, then that's down to me.
Don't you? Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
but don't lie and say, you know.
Yeah, but you've got the likes of, you know, your Tomans, your Sweetwaters, even your was it musicstore.de?
Yeah.
They're quite a big thing now, and they're able to buy in huge amounts and obviously get significant discounts. And they're all quite happy to ship. I mean, you know, Toman fell over themselves in that first couple of weeks after Brexit actually kind of kicked in. They fell over themselves to set their systems up to manage orders from the UK, because they knew if they lost that,
Yeah.
it would be a chunk. So they to, you know, give them credit, they put the effort in. And
I bought
got
my
that up
hardest
and
since
running.
from at that point
Yeah.
in time.
And they now the price you see on the website is the price you pay, and you don't pay any taxes, or you don't pay anything extra. It's all done and dusted, and it's there. Whereas, you know, your GACs and well, maybe not so much your Andertons, but, you know, your other smaller stores, they're basically probably only going to be selling to their local markets, and maybe they get some overseas if they're able to get a discount on certain things and sell them a little bit less than everyone else. But it's, you know, we saw this 20 years ago when all of, you know, we had loads of music stores and they all started shutting because other ones were getting bigger and outselling or, you know, outpricing them. And it's just going to get to a point where we're just going to be left with 3 or 4 global retailers. And then Yamaha come along and say,
Yeah.
with our Montage MAX, you don't sell it, we sell it, but you're an agent.
Yeah.
Now, some places, like, you know, I guess PMT, probably bit their hand off. I can tell you for a fact, go and look for a Yamaha M8X on Toman, and that will tell you exactly what they thought of that.
Yeah.
'Cause
I mean,
they don't stock it.
What people, a lot of people don't realise is that as a retailer, you have to buy, you're buying it
Yeah,
from supplier, manufacturer, whoever it is, really. So you've got to have the money, you know, in your bank account.
yeah,
To buy. I mean, like I say, you know the story. We fell out with Roland because of Boss pedals, really, because them turning around and saying, you know, I think we taken something like, I don't know. I think we took 20 different Boss pedals into stock, which is quite a chunk of change, you know. And they said, you're not selling enough. I said,
You
we're
know,
a
in
small
Liverpool,
market town, you know.
You know, in Liverpool, Boss pedals are called Good.
Good.
Yeah, that pedal's Boss. That.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh dear.
Yeah. And then we fell out with the rep, and we refused to deal with him after.
Yeah.
Because I may have told this story. We were in America, it was Jane and I, and Kirsty was looking at who we employed. Was looking after the shop. She said, "I've just taken an order for a particular Boss pedal. Can't remember which one it was." I said, "Oh, just, you know, put the order in because we want it for this customer. Tell the rep, I'll top the order up when I get back." You know. So she rang him and he says, "Oh no, your account's closed." So then she emailed me, you know, next morning and said, "Oh, you know, account's closed." I said, "Oh, in that case, then refund the customer and I'll sort it when I get back." So I get back, ring the sales office. Said, "Apparently our account's closed. Can you tell me why? Because, you know, we always pay our bills and you know, we're up to date." He said, "No, your account's not closed." I said, "Well, you better tell your rep that it is because he's just told my staff that it's closed." And he says, "That's a conversation you should have with me and nobody else."
Yeah.
And I said, "But we aren't selling Boss and Roland anymore." And I closed the account there and then.
Yeah.
And then for about 6 weeks, we were the cheapest in the country for any Boss or Roland product that we had in stock.
Yeah.
Flogged it all off. Flogged it. We wouldn't sell it less than trade, but we sold it for just above trade, just to get rid of it. And it was guitar amps and Boss pedals.
That's another thing that a lot of members of the public, or people not in the industry, particularly you're into retail.
Yeah.
Is they don't appreciate the amount of markup that there is, because there's the distributor's markup.
Yeah.
Then there's the retailer's markup, and everyone's looking to make a chunk of change off of each product. And I'm not going to say the product, because obviously it's what do they call it? Sensitive business information. But if you imagine a synth that maybe costs you, I don't know, £3,000 to £4,000, you think, oh, that's an expensive synth. When you see how much the manufacturer sells that to the distributor for, you're like, that's Behringer prices.
Yeah.
I
mean, I don't mind sharing it because we're not really doing it anymore. But I'm quite happy to share what the average is. 20% for retail, distributor to retail is usually 20%, 25%, something like that, plus settlement. You can occasionally get really good deals, ending up to 40% if you're lucky.
Yeah,
that's on. This is big stuff. So guitars, because we did woodwind and all that sort of stuff as well, and synths. Accessories, average 100%. On an accessory, but you're looking at a guitar lead or a tuner, so it's a small item really, but you'd be 100% markup on average. Yeah. So you could do quite well if you've got enough footfall to sell lots of accessories.
Yeah, absolutely.
But usually what would happen, somebody would come in for something else, and you'd sell them
sell them some accessories.
Yeah, I mean, because we did lots of lessons, 300 lessons a week. Those people coming in for lessons would buy stuff as well, which helped, really.
I can never get over the fact how much markup restaurants put on wine. I mean,
I can imagine it's more than 100%, isn't it?
Yes, it's a lot more.
Yeah, I don't drink wine, so...
Dad would buy this stuff in, and he'd open this bottle of wine, which I'd seen the price on the wine list. I'm saying, Dad, it's only Sunday lunch. I mean, we haven't got fucking royalty coming over. He's like, this was like £5, £10. I'm like, and he goes, yeah, that's markup. I mean, it's ridiculous, hundreds of percent.
Yeah.
And that's why when you go to a restaurant, everyone says, "Oh, I could have bought my own bottle from Tesco's for £5." Yes, you could.
But you're sitting.
But you can't bring it into the fucking restaurant.
Exactly. Yes.
So. And then corkage fees and all that kind of stuff. It's mental, but that's how these people. It's how people make a living. So,
I mean, I have to say, when Pocklington Music could not have survived, Pocklington Music should never have closed. That was mismanagement by the guy who we sold it to, because there was absolutely no reason for it to close. He just got bored through the pandemic, really, and didn't put his stock online. Because I kept saying to him at the beginning of the pandemic, get all your stuff online. I'm selling quite a lot online. Get all your stuff online, and then you'll be,
Hello,
matey, you all right?
Yeah, look. Where is he? He's still
he hasn't
there.
moved. He hasn't moved much at all.
Look at him.
It's just a head. It's just a head.
Into the blanket.
Hello, Noah. How you doing?
You know his bad leg?
Yeah, which one? They're all pretty fun.
I heard about the fall.
Yeah, but the broken one.
Yeah.
That's set funny. Well, now in the opposite diagonally across, he's done his back leg in as well now.
Yeah.
So
and now Charlie's just gone and done something to his front leg, and he's hobbling everywhere.
Oh Jesus!
Bloody hell!
Oh.
Dog hospital. I enjoyed your systems of reality. Systems of reality. Systems of reality. That's a better name, isn't it? Surely.
Much better.
Yeah, no, it was good actually.
Yeah.
Although we're finding out about your masturbation technique was a bit beyond me.
Yeah, the only person I know that was born with a one-piece dick.
You know what? You know what? I told Hayley about that, and she was crossing her fucking legs as well.
I was, yeah.
Oh,
Oh
mate.
dear, oh dear.
Yeah, it's funny. But anyway, no. This morning I was just telling Fiona I was looking for a pair of COS K117 Red Devils. It's a pair of headphones that my dad bought with his gramophone.
I
Was it
had a pair of COS headphones.
not gramophone? What was it? Radiogram.
Radiograms.
Yeah.
Radio. 1971, right? He paid £8. No, £12.50 for them. And I thought, just for the hell of it, I'd like to find a pair, just for nostalgic reasons, right? So I went looking, and it took a while, but I found a pair, and they were over 1,200 quid.
What?
Apparently, collectors.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'm just. There's a pair on. I don't think they're up for sale, but I just found it's on Facebook actually, but they look great.
Yeah, there's this bright red plastic.
Yeah, I
And
didn't
they-
have anything
they-
like that. I had the sort of more squarer ones that were black. I don't know what model they were.
That was either the set before or the set after.
The 125s, judging by what I've just seen.
125s. Yeah.
My uncle had a white pair, big. This was early mid 70s. And they were big. They were COS. They were white, glossy white. You could see your reflection in them. Oh, nice.
My dad's still got his COS ones, as far as I'm aware. From the
You
seven-
might want to get them valued.
Yeah, the only one. No, I don't talk to the cunt. Sorry.
Ah.
But yeah,
Maybe I'll leave them to you then.
I'm being left nothing. Don't worry about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, but yeah, apparently, from what I understand, he's still got them, and those are the ones he had in. Well, as far back as I can remember. So
Well, the good thing is we've still got the Ferguson radiogram.
Wow.
I wish I'd kept my dad's Dynatron. He had a Dynatron quadraphonic.
Fuck you. Fuck you back. Fuck you back.
yeah, he's not well, is he? Look at him. Yeah, he's
Oh, mate,
really-
I'm all right. If I look down,
Don't look down, as
Yeah.
Galway said.
right. Fiona,
I-
when you're noshing him off later, don't fucking hold his head up.
Oh.
hey, I've got headphones in. She can't hear that.
Oh, well, shit. Right, okay.
Matt says when you're noshing me off later, I mustn't look
Hang
down.
on, wait for it to stop laughing.
So
Oh dear.
you don't really do that anymore, do you?
Using the microscope.
You sort of like hands off remote kind of.
We should club together and get him a fleshlight for Christmas.
A what?
Micro.
Off.
What's she
Fleshlight. You
what's
know
she
what
done?
fleshlight is?
Flashlight. All right.
No, fleshlight. It looks like a flashlight, but it's
It's got a hole in one end, Ian.
yeah.
I sort of gathered it was something like that, but it's I've led a sheltered
Oh,
life.
bless him. He's so sheltered in life, isn't he?
Oh, it's
Bollocks.
got headphones in. No,
Oh
it's,
dear.
He said bollocks. We got him to swear. Yes.
There you go. That's made your day, hasn't it, Matt?
I'm getting.
Carvera CNC flashlight mod.
Ow! I'm getting moaned at. She can't watch her telly.
Why?
I don't know. Carry on watching it.
Many times we must have been partnering with somebody who's
There you go.
someone like that. Looks like the FBI just landed. I'll handle this.
You miserable cunt. What is the matter with you?
Tell me it's not true. The suspect is dead. We tried. You shouldn't have tried anything. As I predicted, Morgan.
Ow! Oh, you kick bloody Siri off now. Here we go. Daddy, I'll protect you. All right, sweetheart.
No, yeah. Yes, Steve. Now we can hit the crap TV.
I mean, I even turned background noise reduction on, but it didn't.
It's
Didn't
not
work.
inside. It shouldn't be inside, man.
What was it called? Oh, that's it.
I won't right into that with you. You know, I still know you pretty well. And that's why I know you want to solve this case just
Yes, it's a
as badly
sausage
as
roll.
you do.
Doesn't mean you can have any. It's a Greg's one though.
I have had to get rid of my up 6. Did I tell you?
No.
I thought I'd paid for it. Well, I thought Jane had paid for it actually, because it was the loan from Cog back in 2021.
Yeah, they asked for it back, didn't they?
That's it back, yeah. It's gone back.
Yeah, you did say. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I like it, but I don't like it enough to buy it, if I'm honest, because I don't use it enough.
Great. Just hope whoever it was didn't know there were security cameras, so they would have made sure you couldn't get a good look at them.
Well, I had the right touch today. Because,
I'm going to leave you to it because
all right
He
then.
and his partner.
the room's starting to spin again.
Okay.
But take it easy,
Right.
You
matey.
don't want you
Yeah.
honking on screen.
Go careful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
take it easy.
See you
Take
later.
it easy.
See you later.
Yeah.